What if I told you the difference between success and failure isn't a massive breakthrough? It's actually the tiny things you do every single day. I dare you to test this. Let me show you. Most people will wait for the big moment, whereas the truth is small, consistent habits create the massive results that everybody wants. Okay, let's break this down into 3 keys. I call it the 3% rule. If you improve just a little bit every day, or what I like to say, better every day, the compounding effect will change your business and your life. So let's break down the 3% rule. The first key, 1%. Start ridiculously small. I mean, like ridiculously small. So instead of saying, I am going to sell, 5 projects today, I'm going to make 100 sales calls. Instead, start incredibly simple. Make 1 phone call. Send 1 email. That's it. You're not going to change the whole business or the quarter or the month or the week in 1 hour. You're just going to make 1 phone call. Let me share a personal anecdote. Last year, 2024, my big goal was to exercise every single day of the year, 366 days. But first, the small version of that was to get outside and move my body for 30 minutes. I didn't define how intense it would need to be, how hard, how far, how much I was going to bench, or what the pace of my mile was. Just get outside and move your body for 30 minutes, period, right? Simple and small. That's what you need to do. So my challenge, I dare you to start with just 1 tiny action, so small and so simple that you can check the box. Key number 2, it's another 1%, stack consistency over intensity. So small wins will stack brick by brick into what eventually becomes your castle. You can't create it overnight, but you have to stack brick by brick. So it's like compound interest, but for your habits in your life. Einstein said that compound interest is man's greatest invention. Right? You put money away into the market, you save it in your 20s, and whenever you're ready to retire, 40 years later, it's grown to a huge, hopefully robust portfolio. So compound interest is that idea of just consistency over time. Let's use an example. You can't go learn Spanish 1 week before you take a family trip to Spain. Let me tell you, I tried. But instead, you could say, I'm gonna do 10 minutes of learning every day. Well, guess where that's gonna get you 60 hours in a year. That's why something like Duolingo exists, right? Get into the app, get around Spanish, practice, say it, talk it, look at it, read it for 10 minutes a day, and you'll do 60 hours over a year. So in my example, exercising every day, it wasn't about the intensity, it was about the consistency. I couldn't worry about day 300 or day 366 because it was a leap year. I just had to do today and then tomorrow. Connect the days. Compound interest was building the chain. Right? And so when you started to put a week together and then 2 weeks, and then that looked like a month, you really started to see it stack together. So accountability push here, become the type of person who shows up for yourself. Do what you say you will do. Show up every day, no excuses. And that's your push. Key number 3. Celebrate progress, not perfection. So this is all about celebrating your wins and making sure you recognize where you are and where you've come, because that feeling of accomplishment, that pride, that confidence of showing up and becoming the person who does what they say they will do will actually be your momentum to go forward. So you're celebrating the progress. It might not be perfect. Your workouts, your body might not look the way you want it to look. The number on the scale might not say. Your Spanish might not be that perfect yet, but you're celebrating the progress, recognizing the journey, and the journey will get you to the destination. An example here is tracking those little 1% improvements, right? So if we're getting better every day, let's anchor off of where we started, where we began. That's why people say, take progress photos if you're on a fitness journey, how your habits have grown, or your scorecard in business to see how the business has grown because you've been putting in the sales calls or reaching out to the customers. Establish the baseline so that right now what feels like an awesome, great, successful month will someday become your new baseline, and the levels just keep going up and up. So that's how it was for me with the exercise every day. I had the habit tracker. I saw the number go up. Of course, getting to 1 year was incredible. Then I went into this year and made it 535 days. But guess what? In the summer, I lost the streak. But first, of course, I beat myself up and felt dejected. But then I realized, celebrate the progress, not perfection. Going 535 days, pretty dang good. So I appreciated that, and then I got back on and started a new streak. Challenge here, turn your some days into todays. Recognize even the tiniest little wins. All right, remember, massive results aren't built in 1 day. They're built every single day by getting a little bit better. Tiny improvements compounded over time will create your transformation. All right, so the 3% rule, that's 1% to start ridiculously small, 2% stack consistency, not intensity, and 3% celebrate progress over perfection. Massive results are not built in one day, but they are built every day. Tiny improvements compounded will create your transformation. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one area of your life, personal or business, and make a 1% improvement today. Just think about something so small that you can make a slight adjustment. Drop that in the comments and let's hold each other accountable and create some momentum.